are live today because I got lazy and I did not record a video for today. Hopefully, I won't be so lazy tonight and we'll get one up for tomorrow morning, but we will see what happens. Now, I am not really got anything planned for today. So, what I figured we would do is we're going to revisit this package I got from Leanna sometime back, see what we got in it, because I might want to do something with something in it. I know there's a big, hi Kimberly, a big glass heart in here that I had said I was going to make into a sun catcher, and I haven't ever done that. Um, and I'm still deciding what type of sun catcher I want to make it into. I might make a memory wire one, or we might make some other style. We'll have to decide. It would be fine on if I were to, hi Georgina, if I were to put it on possibly some kind of wire frame with it hanging down. Um, I'm not sure. We'll have to give that some thought. So, hi Beth. And so let's turn down, we'll go through this package again. It's been a while since I've looked through it. We'll see what we have in here and see if there's anything that we want to make, or maybe even if I can see the boxes that the beads would go into, maybe we'll put some of our beads away. I have stacks and stacks of my gemstone boxes on this cart. I actually prefer how I have my glass ones on this bench over here, but I only have one of those, and so the bit gemstones aren't going on there right now, but we'll see what we're going to do with them. But in the meantime, let's turn down and revisit to this package from Leanna. I can't remember what's all in here, though I do remember this big heart. This big glass heart is gorgeous, and I do want to make it into a sun catcher. So again, like I said, let's turn down. Tightened up the tripod last night, and now it doesn't want to move even. So guess I got it pretty tight. So there we go. Hey Sid, how's it going? So anyway, this is the package that we got from Leanna some time ago, and as I said, I really haven't done anything with these things, so I do want to revisit them, see what all I have, because frankly I don't remember, and I know she sent me lots of goodies. In this package, I think, is the stuff from Bargain Bead Box, one of the kits that she didn't like, the one with the rhodonite. Yeah, there they all are. So I've got the copper findings, the copper chain, the coppery colored bicones. Oh, there's the even bead caps and these rhodonite pieces here. And our focal. I'm going to have to definitely find that kit. I'm not sure if I have that one bundled up or in the boxes or not. I'm definitely going to have to find it though, because we need to put these in with their buddies, so to speak. So yeah, we'll have to find those. It's got the 2 rhodonite drop, the flat faceted coins. Those are wonderful. And we've got these wonderful bead caps, and of course, like I said, we have this focal, which is pretty cool. I did use this in a set, but it's been a while. Then we also have, looks like, some 10 millimeter matte rose quartz. So that's, do I have? I have some matte rose quartz, but I don't think it's that size. And I have some regular size quartz, so I'm going to have. I've got my things put in boxes by, pink gemstones, and so like this. And I don't know, I'm getting enough rose quartz. I think I may have to pull the rose quartz out and make just a box for rose quartz instead of just putting it with other things. I got these pretty shell flowers here. We could maybe make a bracelet or an anklet or something from those. Be a nice beachy bracelet, but we'll worry about that in a bit. So we have these rose quartz. These actually would go nicely with the rhodonite. Got some little tiny pink and copper beads. Now these actually, again, would go in really nicely because of the copper bicones there with something there. Look at that, all of those go together. Then I think I have a, excuse me, should have brought some water over, but I didn't. A variety of these little beads. We've got green with the copper edge, blue with the, well, they're gold, with the gold edge, and a yellow with the gold edge. I'll show you. Pull the strand out of the packy. And there, see, there is the, now these are a small bead, so I'd want to use them for either something delicate, something just as something to fill in around big ones, just to make some contrast in size, or like maybe something delicate like a, now these are all loose, so I'm not going to pull these out. Well, I might dump them a little bit in the tray. These ones are blue. They might make a really pretty delicate anklet. So there's the blue. And we, like I said, we have the yellow and we have green here. There's the green. So pretty. Hi, Georgina. You already, I think I already said hi to you because you said hi. We're saying hi to the rosettes this time. It's like, oh, there's some more of those, but it's in a solid green. Well, this is a solid green. These two are more of a transparent, but these are more of a opaque. There's another one. This is yellow. Got a couple of different chains here, it looks like. They might be the same chain. They look quite similar. I think they are. It's a pretty chain. I like it. Definitely going to use it. Hey, Kathy. Now we have a mix of beads. Looks like these seem to me that they came in a bargain bead box too. I seem to remember this mix because it's got a sort of a dull purple and a brighter faceted, you know, these are all faceted, but this one's got a coating. It makes it a little brighter. We got a sort of a beige colored one. And then we've got ones that are all the gold. I think I saw one that was half and half, but half gold and half purple. But this one's a pretty one. Not sure how I describe that one. It's the same as this one here. But anyway, there's a baggie of these colored crystals. Looks like we have some matte tree agate, 6 millimeter. Yeah, those would go together if I wanted to do that. Now these are, I'm not sure what they call these beads. They're the ones that have a, looks like they're gray in the center, and then they have gold tipped both sides. They're not cathedral, because cathedrals have more of a pattern. I'm not sure what these are called, but they're a pretty bead. Looks like we have some little half black, half gold beads. So guys, hi Anita. We are revisiting a bundle of beads that Leanna gave me some time ago, and I know I've used a few of them, but I don't think we've used very much. So this is a strand of red jasper, little red jaspers. They would match the jasper chips that I got from Brandy Michelle. And then we have, I think they called this a flag, or a kite. They called this a kite bead. It's cute. I'll have to decide what I want to do with that one. We have a locket. If I remembered right, I had 2 of these lockets in here. Yeah, there's the other one. Down here. Come here, you. So we have these 2 gold lockets. Now this is one that you could put on a beaded strand, maybe a more delicate beaded strand if you wanted to do that, or just put it on the chain all by itself. It's a pretty little locket. Lockets are always a nice thing. Most people like them. And like I said, it could simply be put on a bell and then directly on a chain if you didn't want to do anything else with it. In fact, we could. Come here, chain bundles. Just out you come. Then bail it and make it into a simple let go of me. It likes me. Just take, though the golds are different, you might want to see about getting a different gold, but see how it would just make a really simple, you could just make a really simple little locket with the chain. So it's very pretty. Or you could, like I say, you could make a beaded. I would, if I were going to do a beaded one, I'd probably use some of these more delicate. See how nice that would look with that, with just the hi Tina. So with just some little beads. And I don't think this strand is big enough to just do the whole strand. We'd have to how long is this strand? It's probably 11 inches. No, it's not. It's 12 and then a few more, so probably 13. So still, too short for a necklace, 13 inches. But if you wanted to do this, you could put some spacers, maybe even just some little ball spacers between each one of these to add the length that you need. And you might get enough with just the ball spacer between each one to get a nice length for this. And I've got 3 different styles of beads. We could, or we could split it between 2 colors. Oops, don't lose the baggie. Like we could take like 3 greens and put in a yellow after that, something like that. or even any other little bead. You wouldn't want a big one. It would detract from what you're trying to do. So, but I think just with a gold ball spacer between would make a nice contrasty here. Or if you even wanted to do a ball spacer and a daisy spacer or something like that, it would make a great combo. We might even try that later, see how that works out for us. So then let's see what else we got in here. Oh, look, there's some more of those beads, now in red. Now these are loose, it looks like, so where's the tray? Yeah, they are loose in here. But there's the little red ones. We have some gold leaves. Oh, these are beads. I was thinking they'd be a hole in them somewhere, but these are actually beads. You see the hole goes from here to there. This is one of those chunky necklaces like we made yesterday. We need something chunky to go with these leaves, I think. I'd have to go through my stash and see what I have that's chunky that we could work under. Okay, this would be a no for doing probably, because this one's going to would get expensive. But I have some antler that would definitely stand up to the boldness of that leaf. But these are so expensive. They're $3 a piece for these. So I have to be careful how many of these I put in something. And here, you want to see something cool. This one's $10. But look at this baby. It's big and chunky. This has a hole, right? A pretty good sized hole. So you'd probably want to use this on leather. And but anyway, that big boy. It's antler. That's what that is. Come here. Let me get your tag. It is elk shedded antler from New Mexico. It's 23 by 16 millimeter bead. $10 for that baby. So I'm going to have to be really careful when I decide to use that one. So these are big, chunky, pretty, but big, chunky gold twisted leaves. Well, they're not really leaves. They're just ovals. And I think they'll make they need something chunky, you know. So, hey, puppy. My Lily was in my bedroom. It looks like my daughter just went and got her. So she's out with my daughter. Here's a really pretty little gold filigree piece. Now this piece is extremely lightweight, so it would need some weight put to it or have it put on something. Actually, where is that? Where are you? There's this piece of lepidolite. You could hook it right here onto here. That would be pretty. And you could either jump ring it, or you could just cut that ring off if you wanted to, because there is a little bump right there, so it may not want to go onto there just like it is. But you could cut the ring off if you wanted to and glue it down. That would be pretty on there, I think. I like it a lot. And that may be something I think about doing. I've been trying to decide what I wanted to do with this piece because it is pretty good sized and it's pretty flat. And it's like, now, I don't want to just leave it like this. It's sort of boring. So I was thinking of adding something to it. And this just may be what I decide to add to it. I'll have to, like I said, trim off that loop at the top. We glue this on. And if I wanted to, I still could even add something else. The thing I had been thinking about putting on it was, come here, you. No, not you. was this rose. And actually, that looks really good on there with this. Cut this top off so it can sit down flat. And then we can put that on like that. Or we could put it up higher if we wanted to and let those pretty loops that are down on the bottom show. Not sure which way I prefer it. But I'm thinking that may be exactly what I do with that. You think the red beads would look better with the heart necklet locket? They might. We'll see. So I sort of like this. And of course, like I said, what we would need to cut the very top of this off because we've got that little bump there and it doesn't want to accept this being here. So, or we could just go all the way up there. Go, go, go. I sort of like that. That's pretty. So I may just put all these things right here in with this because I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this and the rose on the lepidolite to make a much more distinctive pendant there. So let's see what else we have here. We have some glass beads that have had a gold pattern put onto them. Oh, there's a not glass. This is, where are they? There they are. So, bing. Then, like I said, here is this gorgeous big crystal heart. Isn't it beautiful? And it even has a really nice pendant on it. I'm not sure. I don't think I put it on there. I think it was on there when it came. It's got a pinch bell, which sometimes I object to, but I really like it here. I think this works. It's very pretty. And like I said, it will make a gorgeous sun catcher. I just have to decide how I want to do it. Do I want to make some kind of a wire frame for it to hang from? I'm sort of thinking yes, because I want it to be dramatic. I don't want it to be, just something simple. I want it something dramatic for this. Okay, let's see what we're on the last of our stuff here. Now here's some copper beads that I actually think were in the rhodonite kit. And I've got to find that kit so I can put these things into it. But here we go. We have some toggle clasps. I'll be really truthful with you. A lot of times I use toggle clasps for earrings. They make a really cool earring having stuff hang down from here. And this one, the rope stuff, might even allow things to be separated. Now, you still can use these for bracelets if you want to, with just have a seed beaded loop and just put them through it rather than the toggle. So, and there's quite a few of them in here, so very nice. I like this rope pattern. And because of the rope pattern, actually this toggle might hold better than some because it'll go down in there between the rope pieces here when it connects. So then we have some of these in black. Now I don't think that the blue, the black, and the red are complete strands because they are off the strand. But the black would be pretty dramatic with our, come on, where'd you put it? Locket. But because it's not a full strand, I don't know how long it would end up being, and we may have to purposefully put bigger, more spacers in, like 2 balls in a daisy maybe between each one or something. Though the black would be a good one with the gold. Kathy thinks she liked the red. This is another one that's off the strand, so I don't know how many beads are actually in there. So the green we know is a 13-inch strand because we measured it. You are trying to escape. And we have a tiny little heart pendant. It has a, look at this and see if we think it's ceramic or if we want it. Yeah, I think it's ceramic. I don't think it's gemstone, but it is a really cute little heart. Again, this would be cute with just, because it is so delicate, it would either need to be coupled up, I think, with something else, or it would need to just go on a delicate chain all by itself. So very pretty little locket there. And then we have a donut. This looks to be a moss agate donut. And this may have come out of one of the bargain bead boxes too. I can't remember if in the moss green one we had a donut or not, but we might have. And lastly, we have some like the gray ones, but they're blue. Oh, I wanna, come here, you guys. Same color. Exact same color. Those may need to be coupled up. This is a color I really like. This blue is very, very pretty. So, yeah, exactly. I used to use a lot of toggles instead of lobsters, but I don't anymore. I usually use lobsters anymore, mainly because, not because I'm afraid of losing stuff, but, you know, you can easily too. But because I like to be able to use an extender, and if I need to, and so it doesn't really, you know, you can't really make an extender with a. I want to keep some of these out because I have to decide what I want to do. You can't really use an extender with a. This heart. Anyway, as I was saying, you can't really use an extender with a toggle clasp. It makes for a difficulty. These are gorgeous. Our other heart. Now, I think all of these things were actually from one of the specific bargain bead boxes. That's why she had it wrapped up separately like this. So I think we'll keep that way. And then we'll put that back in there. I got to find that kit so I can add those things to the kit. And we're going to play a little bit with our heart and our chain. And you know what? I don't think we're going to use the chain. I think we're going to use one of these colors of beads, and we have to decide which. And like I said, I don't know if the red and the black are full strands. The green is a full strand, but we will need to get some. I have ball spacers right here, so those aren't a problem finding. And I will need some, I think some other gold spacers of some type. I'm leaning towards daisy spacers, and I do have a few here. What I'm thinking is a ball spacer, daisy spacer, ball spacer, spacer combo to put between the beads to add the length we need to complete the necklace. The question is, what color beads do we want to use? Because I only want one color. I don't want to mix them. Hi, Dorothy. What am I going to make? I'm going to make a necklace using our heart, one of the heart lockets. It's very pretty. And it's one of those things, if you wanted to put a little paint on it, you could. If I were going to paint anything, I would probably just paint this heart either red or pink. And if I painted it pink, we would obviously wouldn't want to, we'd probably just want to go black. What do you guys think? Green, red, or black? I know Kathy was leaning towards the red. I personally was leaning towards the green or black, but any of them I think would work nicely. Anybody got any? Oh yeah, I really love that way. See, there's the, let's push these aside a little bit like this so we can get them better here. There's with the green. That's what I liked the green, like I said. Here's with the red. Red is also pretty. And the black makes it more neutral. You like black. Kathy likes red. We need some more votes, folks. Come on, let's vote. Hi, Charlie. So anyway, like I said, black, green, or red. Black and gold. Changed your vote to the black, huh, Kathy? Dorothy's going green and Beth is saying red. Let's go over it again. Here's the red, what it would look like with the red. And we're going to put spacers in between with the ball spacers and the daisy spacers. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. Do I have a wire around here that I can just grab to stick them on so you can see what I'm meaning? I don't know. I cleaned up some of my junk the other day, so now I don't have as much stuff sitting here that I used to. Oop, I see a ball, so maybe if I can grab that ball. It's silver, but you'll still get the idea of what I mean. A ball spacer, and then a daisy spacer, and then a ball spacer. And that, drop it off, does good. This will go between each one of the beads. So we'll actually have more spacers probably in the long run than the beads. But this will go in between the beads. Oh, go on. Like so. To add the length we're going to need. So well, the reds don't, and neither do the blacks, have any, aren't on a strand. So let's just, so with the red, go on there. Look like so, and so as we go up, it would look like this. Let's bring it up so you can see it better. I like okay, so the heart is gold, yes. Black, gold, and red. It would look good with any of the colors. Yes, it would. I agree. But we're going to do like so. Actually, we'll put put a spacer, a bail here. So it would look like this. I think all the gold spacers are going to keep it from being, straight color. So red, we have the red. This is what the red would look like on it. And we'll have the black or the green. I like all the colors. I don't think any of them would be bad. Okay, so Dorothy says black, gold, and red. So we would need to have, I was just going to do one color of the beads, but we could do, like add it in the next section, add a black. So 2 reds and a black or something like that. The heart is gold, yes. I like the green, but black would be more versatile. This is true, Charlie. Red is more versatile for sexy Valentine or Christmas. Good points, Beth. Great minds, different colors. Yeah. Red is too traditional for me with the heart. Okay, I agree with that. I like that, says Georgina. Dorothy says yes. Are you going to paint any part of the heart? I don't think so. I was debating painting the heart either pink or red. If I did red, of course, it would match great with the red, or with the black. I would not put it with the green if I paint the heart at all, because, well, personally, I think pink and red goes fine with green, but most people, when you put green and red together, they instantly think Christmas. But if you were to put the, actually, let's look at if we just add a black to this pattern, with the next one being black. And if I did, like I said, I would probably do a double red and then a black, one black and then back to a double red, or we could do a double black and back to a red. Either way would work nice. I think we've sort of voted out the green, right? So let's put a black on here. So then, oh, I like that. What do you guys think? This is also true, Dorothy. It does sort of depend on the color of green. This is more of a sage green than an emerald green, or a grass green. So it would probably look better, but here's what I was thinking. What do you guys think? Bring it up. You like this? Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Let's put the green away. We're not going for green. We've sort of all voted that green doesn't quite work. But we're seriously looking at this pattern. I think this pattern works. And it should, adding a few blacks and our spacers, it should be long enough. I want it about 18 inches. We don't want it super long, but we don't want it short either. So let's see what we want for. Let's just go with gold for our soft flex. And we need a bale. All these bales are bigger than I would like. Do I have smaller? Come here, you guys. Maybe this one. Yeah, I think that one will work. What do you guys think? Yeah, the only other one in here is pretty big too, so we don't want that. think this one will work. For letting us participate. You listen. We know that you all respect others' opinions, and this is a wonderful way to learn and enjoy. And Beth, I thank you very much. I appreciate that you like to participate. I think sometimes having that extra little bit of vocalization from you guys helps me, because there are times I look at things and go, oh, do I really want to do it that way? But in this case, it really is something to help me get through things. And it helps me put things in perspective sometimes of what I like and don't like. So this will go on here like this. And we're going to do this like this. And I think I like that little pop of black. Then when we go to the other side, we'll have the red back here, like so. Ball spacers, Dorothy, that's what we're using here. These little ball spacers between. So let's get out some soft flex. This is my 24 karat medium gold. And since we got so much gold in here, I figured gold wire would be perfect. Now, gold wire is a little more expensive. If you're wanting to look at the price of things here, the gold wire is more expensive than a regular wire. But see this sticker on here? This means this came from their outlet store rather than the regular store, and these have a little problem on them, they say, and that's why they're in the outlet store and they're a little cheaper. And usually it's because either the color wasn't quite right, that they didn't really care for the color for some reason, it didn't quite match what the usual stuff is, or sometimes it has tiny little black flecks on it. I don't care about the tiny little black flecks. They don't bother me. So we're not going to worry about them. So I'm going to just, come out, pull this wire out, and we'll just start going just like this. Since this side's already done like this, we'll go ahead and start it. And these little guys are sometimes pretty much a pain in the rear to work with, so hopefully we won't end up getting irritated with them. But I think the heart will stand out nicely with this pattern of beads, and they're not too big to overpower it. We want the heart to be the star. This is its story. And I think one of my cats just hurled up a hairball. Lovely. For those of you who don't know, I have 4 cats. That's not Lily, I'm fairly positive, because Lily is like a little puppy dog and follows my daughter around, and she just went back to her bedroom. So I'm sure it's not Lily. But Winter's not in the windowsill anymore, so it might have been her. Unfortunately, if you have cats, hairballs are a fact of life that you can't get away from. Unfortunately. Now, I don't think we need anything underneath this bail like I normally put something under here, because it's a pretty thin bail, and we're going to have one of these little red ones on either side, which are not going inside, so it's not a problem, I don't think. Now, if you wanted to, you could get some really tiny seed beads or some rubber tubing and put in there. But I don't think it needs it. So now, since we've got 2 reds, this next one will be the black. And I would have done it anyway because that's its position on the other side. So. So now this is going to be pretty delicate, as you can see. And that's what we want for our heart. We want our heart to stand out. Now we want the red. Oh, you little brat. Back here. Now we're almost at the same spot. I don't have the spacers on, but it's going to look like this. Your bell is beautiful. Oh, are you talking about my spacer? A small one that looks like a ball, what they call a ball space, a bead bell. I have bead bells, but they're bigger. They're the bigger bead bell. And I would have to put something inside this one. So do you think the bead bell would look better? I mean, I can see where you're going with it because it would match the ball spacers better. But I don't have one of the tiny ones. What size are my spacers? You know, I don't know what the size is on the daisy spacers. These are the smallest daisy spacers that they come in with the little inner ring. And these little balls are 3 millimeter. I got these from Hobby Lobby. So they're in with all the beads that are in tubes. So anyway, what do you guys think? Should I switch it to this ball bell? Or bead bell, I guess they call them. I don't have the little tiny ones, and I don't think I'd want to use a little tiny one. It needs to hang down a little bit, but what do you think? Do you like this one better than that one? I can go either way. This one actually would match the little ball spacers better, of course. Anybody have an opinion? This one looks sort of like a leaf or a feather, so it's that one. Let's put them away from each other, but I'm going to put them up towards the beads so you can see them or see it. Actually, I'll just put it right here on the end. Now this one the beads will sink into because it's bigger. And I'll have to find it on the floor. So I would have to put either some of the little ball spacers inside it or something like that. But see, there's what that one would look like with and then of course there was this one we were already looking at, had here. This one or this one. Does anybody have a preference? This one does match our ball spacers, having that there. And this one does not match anything. It's just a pretty little bale. Either one will work for me. I like them both. Okay, this one seems to have stopped giving me messages. It does that every once in a while. It drives me nuts. So I'm going to have to play with it a little bit. You have like the one I have on better. The leaf looks nicer. Okay, so we're going to go with the leaf. All right, that works. Yeah, and it does match the patterning on the heart itself a little better. So, yeah. So we're going with this one. Okay. Back to our beading here. Now, you will know, of course, that this is going to take us longer than, if we had big beads. Like our chunky necklace we made yesterday, that went pretty fast. And that was mainly because the big beads, took up the space really quickly. This one's not gonna. It's gonna be delicate and take its sweet time getting made, because even though I don't plan on making it longer than 18 inches, it's still all these little beads are going to take a while to get there, so to speak. So anyway, it's going to be, I think it's going to turn out really pretty. Oh, come on, you guys. Don't fight with me. Stubborn thing. Problem with ball spacers is 3/4 of the time, but more like 9/10 of the time, they're hollow. So when you put your string in, it goes in, but sometimes when it goes in, it goes over to the side, and that's why it hangs on the top like that. But we just put our black on, so we're back to red again. Now, if you don't like the pattern I'm using, oh, I got it wrong here. Didn't need that second daisy. Already had it on. Ah, I didn't have the ball spacer on the very first. Okay, we need to take that off and fix that. You know what this sort of reminds me of? The Queen of Hearts from no, this bale is fine. It doesn't need beads. It actually probably wouldn't take any, and it's skinny. But yeah, the ball spacer, I would have to put some seed beads or some, maybe even some of the balls, these little ball spacers in it, to fill in the excess space. But I do like how this is turning out. I think it's going to be very delicate and very pretty. Come on, you guys. One of you come. There we go. So I think the ball spacers are going to give us plenty of beads because, or the spacers here, because they're taking up as much space as one bead, the way we've got them going. So it's perfect. Time for black again. And I need to get some more ball spacers out. Yeah, it does. It really does pop the other colors out, doesn't it, Dorothy? But yeah, Tina, I do put either beads or small or rubber tubing under when I do I have it right here. Of course not. That would make life too simple. I usually have some rubber tubing right here that I will use if it's too big, but for some reason it seems to have taken a hike. It's usually right here beside me, but always when I want it, I can't find it, but I will. Anyway, rubber, nope, there goes my overhead light. I was wondering when it was going to die on us. I haven't got it plugged yet, and I wasn't sure how long the battery was going to last, but it just died. So I'm going to have to find a longer cord for it so that I can, or an adapter so that I can get it charged back up. I'm liking that light, so definitely have to have it charged up because it really gives us a lot more light down here, doesn't it? Oh. Bye, Beth. Sorry you had to leave. Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, it sort of gives me Alice in Wonderland feels, like the Queen of Hearts area where they always have all the red and the blacks. I am not a real fan of pinch bells, though I do use them occasionally, but I usually either make my own bell or use this style with and then jumping it on. See how long we're getting on this side. We want about 9 inches, maybe a little bit less. A little bit less is what we've got right now. We're just about at 9. A little bit less then, of course, gives us room for our crimps and our lobster claw. So let's see. I really do miss that new light being out. It really did help. So we're at 8.5 right here is where the bell's sitting at. So I think the spacers and the next red one is going to do it for what we need here. So let's now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take and I'm going to put one ball spacer and one daisy spacer, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to stop because when I put my crimp in, it's going to go down into a little ball, and it's going to match up then as the last spacer. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. So let's get this crimped way up here. Move you guys down there. And we'll measure one more time. And we're at 9. We're about perfect. So anyway, we're going to get our wire cut to about the length we need here. Come here, you off. Don't need that much. There we go, about there. Now we're just going to go up this other side the same way. Looks like we're on black right now. We're going to need some more black ones out. We don't have enough here. And I was worried that one strand would not be long enough, but with all the seed beads and spacers we put in here, we are plenty long enough, and got plenty of beads left even. Though I am going to have to bring some more beads out. So I have PT this evening, which I'm not really looking forward to. I know it helps me a lot. My leg has become a lot more, I was going to say mobile, but it's plenty mobile. It's not, mobility's not the problem. I'm walking around without my walker these days at home. Now this one had something inside it, so that's what I was doing, was trying to clear it. Sometimes when they form these, they have a little extra metal, or if they're antiqued, they have some of the antiquing stuff inside of them, and that makes them not easily used. But if you put just put either your awl or your that was my bead reamer I just used to push down through that, and works pretty darn good. That's this black one, so we're right here. Looks like we're going to need 1, 2, 3 more black. So we'll get a few more out here. That's more than we need, but that's all right. More is better than not enough. And we're going to need some more red. probably a good, I don't know, half a dozen or so. But I think I'm going to like it. Spacers save space. Now you're going to have to make this necklace? You think you have those beads? Well, then sure, go for it. Like I said, delicate, but I think it really makes a little bit of a statement, and it's going to let the heart locket become the star of the show, because it's not being overwhelmed by big beads. So I think it's going to work really nicely. Is Leanna here? She is the one that gave me these beads and the heart. This again, the spacers, the spacers, the beading thread, and the findings are going to be the things from me. And quite frankly, she did give me toggles. If I wanted to, I could use the toggles for this necklace. But like I say, I usually do a lobster claw instead, in case whoever decides to buy it. Say we're at a craft show and somebody loves it, but they want it a little bit longer. I generally take a couple of spools of wire, some silver and some gold, so that if somebody wants an extender put onto a necklace, I can do that. And that's generally why I use lobster claws too, because a lot of people, they just because I like this length and I want it to be this length, they might want it a little longer. So it's better to have that option for people. I had been debating making an anklet today, but obviously that's not what grabbed me when I went to decide what I wanted to do. These beads would make a really cute anklet as well. You could, because it would make a really nice, delicate anklet. If you wanted to make something like this into an anklet. You're going to make it for your birthday next week? Tina has the red and the green. So you think this is from GGC? That's I don't shop at GGC. I'm not even sure what the acronym is for. I assume one of the G's is gems, but you know what they say about assume. So looks like I should have put a few more of the daisy spacers out. Come on, you, go on there. That one might have something in it. It doesn't want to go on at all. I have to check it. Let's see, second red. Now where are we on the other one? Right here. So we have one more black and two more reds. So we're at the black right now. think that's where we quit. Yep. We'll hook our heart on. I'm liking it. This out of the way because I think we're done. I will measure it one more time to make sure that we don't need to add anything. GGC treasure. Oh, my bracelet. Which one? The blue or the pink? Or both? Now, these beads, I only had 3 or 4 of them. Not even sure what type they are. They're really pretty. They got a lot of matrix in them. And I really liked them. These 3 here. And then, of course, we have a large, this is a large crystal by that company who doesn't like us to name them anymore. Both of these are. So, and this one is a lampwork bead that I got in Oregon. And these are the vintage button beads here. So thank you, Dot. Glad you like them. I made them, of course, some time ago. Let's see. We were measuring, weren't we? Okay, from here to here is 9 inches. So yeah, that's as long as we want it. So we're going to get some gold crimps out. Come on, I just saw the gold. There they are. These little plastic tops really stick on these bottles, which is a good thing. Only need 2. This is delicate. We don't need to do anything extra. So I'm just gonna take our crimp tube, let it slide down, go through, if it'll let us go through, at least to the spacers here. Are you going to let us? I'm not sure it's going to let us. We'll see here in just a second. Okay. Oh, it even went through the little red bead. That surprises me. I didn't expect that. So now we're going to push this up to about here. Give it just a tad of room for our crimp. They're the magical crimpers. I'm going to put our crimp right inside that divot right there. Are we? And we're going to squish lightly. Go down a little bit. You're in my way, guys. Turn it. Put it back in the divot. Squish. And we're going to do this like 3 or 4 times until we round this baby out a little bit. Let's see if it holds good. Yep, it does. Get the clippers and we're going to clip this line off right here. Or flush cutters, I should say. These are nice flush cutters. I get these from wiredjewelry.com, and every once in a while they'll put a special on where you can get the flush cutters for free. You just have to pay postage. And then when they do that, they also then turn around and offer the to complete the set, as they call it. And what that means is you get this guy who's small and has more of a bent tip, so you can get into close areas easier, or, and then this guy here, which is really heavy duty. And this, I don't cut memory wire with this. I use it for other, but I do cut my steel things with this. So really nice flush cutter. In case you're interested, wirejewelry.com. I don't know its normal price because that's where like I said, I always get them for free. So we're gonna pull this baby up, bring her down because she's gonna try and make room here. Bring her down. Try and, sort of conform it to the other side some. Not that people really study that generally, but, I'm going to push this down with my thumb so that the wire, I give room for my crimps to get in. And I just go around in a circle like this until it's not doing anything more, which, as you can see, it's not. I didn't squish it all. So then we'll cut this wire. Come on, get out of the way. And our bead strand is finished. So now we have to simply put the findings on the end and put our heart on. Now the heart on is really easy to do. We just want to get a jump ring for that. And actually we need jump rings for the other things too. So let's just get everything at the same time. So we need 2 mediums, 1 to hook up here for the lobster claw, and 1 to put our heart on. And we want 1 large, and that's for the lobster claw to hook into once you have it attached. So let's get our heart put together, and then we can put our big one on. We'll have to get a lobster claw out to get the other. Like I say, I usually use a lobster claw anymore just in case my customer that might want to buy this wants it longer, and that way I can add some extender chain. So the heart is now on. Ta-da! And now we just have to put the other. So put the big one on the one side, and we have to get a lobster claw, and then we'll finish this baby off. Come on, go all the way. There we go. So one thing I always check is my make sure my jump rings are closed. I really hate it when they're open just a tiny bit. It's just enough to irritate the crud out of you. And thank you. You pressed too hard when you were doing yours, Georgina. Yes, that is a problem that you have. Some people do have. That first one, squeeze, you don't want to squeeze real hard. Okay, this one's working great. So no problem. Because for some reason, it tends to get a little snarky if you push too hard on it. But I dropped it. There it is. Oh, come on, Rose. Butterfingers today. And as you can see, the crimp bead is just a touch smaller than the regular jump ring, but it still makes it look like it's part of the pattern. And we're done. And like I say, if we need to, I always take chain with me to my craft shows, just in case people want an extender chain. This is 18 inches. If somebody wants it like 20 inches, we can add 2 inches of chain. But if you don't have any chain, you can't. And if you don't use a lobster claw, again, you can't. So that's why I generally use lobster claws anymore. So what do we got going on here? Oh, that is very interesting, Tina. I'm liking that. I think that is nice. First time you opened one of those crimps went every. Yeah. Did they find all the little girls from the camp, Dorothy? I hadn't heard. The last time I heard that there was still a few missing. Is my husband doing it better at work, Rose? The first day he tried too much. I mean, because he was just back his first day and he's a little bit particular about how he likes things cleaned. He's the head janitorial person at the Glacier National Park. So he gets a little bit, okay, I have to have this cleaned this way and this cleaned this way. And unfortunately, because of the government cuts, they don't have as many workers as they normally. He doesn't have as many workers as normal. So sometimes he has to go and help in the campgrounds to make sure they're done too, unfortunately. And so he was in pretty rough shape when he got home on Monday. Yesterday he was better, and hopefully he'll be better today. I have been encouraging him not to do any extra that he doesn't have to do. Let his workers do them, So we'll see. So anyway, all done. I think it turned out really pretty. I like it a lot. And of course, our locket will open. So you can put some pictures or something inside. So now Tina's necklace is, thank you. Tina's necklace is more of a, how do I put it? I can't find the word. It means that it's a tribute sort of thing. This one, if you wanted to have had this one be sort of a tribute to like somebody's child that had passed away so that you could put them in their locket, you could have put, instead of some of the beads, say right here between the reds, you could have put some little wings. You know how you can buy some wings sometimes? Now you could put some little wings in here, maybe 3 or 4 in 3 or 4 spots, or well, maybe not 3 or 4, but you could put them right between each of the red ones if you wanted to, some little of the delicate little wings that you can get. And that would definitely have made a tribute with the locket to somebody you lost, whether it be a child, a parent. And then, of course, you can put that person's photograph in your locket. So that's a thought if you wanted to do something like that. Glad you guys like it. Well, I think we're way over our hour. I'm going to turn us back. There's my light up there that turned off. But like I said, it's not been charged. I haven't figured out a way the extender, its cord is too short. but it's just like a regular. Let me see if I can pull it so you can see the end. It's just like a regular USB on this side, and the C, just like my phone cord, is. And so I probably can go to either the phone store or even Walmart or something and get a longer cord that would work, so I can get it down to the plug where I've got like my lights plugged and stuff. So anyway, here's our little necklace. It's delicate, pretty little necklace. When it's that far away, the spacers almost look like they're yellow beads, but of course they're the gold spacers. But pretty little 18-inch locket. So yeah, it does need, I can plug it into my lap. I do have a laptop that the lights are running from. These lights that are down here, I got 2 ring lights on either side. Those run off of one of my older laptops that's sort of buried down here right now. I got to unbury it again because I put all my Beadbox Bargains bead boxes on top of it again. I've got to get it back. Got to find a better place for them, you know. And so, yeah, but it's just not long enough. I can't, it's only about, it needs about 2 more feet, maybe even 3 to get to it good. But I really liked that light. I think it works really good. It adds quite a bit of light, so I'm really glad that I bothered to take and purchase that. We are going to have to work on fairy stuff pretty soon, whether it be fairy ears or necklaces or what have you, because the fairy festival put up on Facebook, it's 10 days away. And I went, oh my God, is it that close? It as Anita would love to see Tina's necklace. Turned out pretty, thank you. It's for the Orphanage Challenge blue because it's Debbie's favorite color. Ah, okay. And Dorothy wants you to take pictures, so that would be good. So she's going to post it on Gemstone Orphanage. So that'll be. So if you're a member of Gemstone Orphanage, which actually I am, I don't usually buy too much from them, but I am. I do go on sometimes, do their challenges every once in a while. But we have been on here for an hour and a half. The necklace didn't take us all that time because part of that time was looking at the package of goodies that we had in the first place, so to work with, and I think we all came up with good choices. I think the necklace is very pretty, very delicate, and well, let's face it, it's a lot different than yesterday's, isn't it? Yesterday's was Chunky Monkey. So I think it turned out very nice, though. I like it quite a bit, and I hope you guys liked it too and enjoyed making it with me. And I appreciate all of the input into making it our little necklace here. I think we came up with a beautiful plan. So anyway, I'm going to go for the day, and if I get my rearing gear, I'll have a recorded video for tomorrow. If I don't get my rearing gear, I'll be live again. We'll see. And I do have my members live tomorrow afternoon for those of you who are members. That is at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which of course is 2 Central and 3 East Coast, and noon for the West Coast people. And so I hope to see you all there. And then if not, we'll see you Friday. And we'll see how I feel tomorrow, since, like I said, I have PT this afternoon, which is a little rough sometimes, you know. But I'll see y'all later. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I've had fun with you guys today, and I hope that you enjoyed it too. Bye-bye.